coastline here is made of sandstone cliffs and sandy beaches. The geology of this area is famous worldwide, and nearby Barton-on-Sea has given its name to the Bartonian geological age, 38 million to 41 million years ago. The sandy Barton beds provide rich pickings for fossil hunters. If you are lucky, you might find beautiful fossil shells or even shark's teeth lying on the beach, polished by the waves. The teeth come from a prehistoric sand tiger shark. A local lady who lived here in Victorian times took a particular interest in the fossils of Barton. Barbara, Marchioness of Hastings, was described by a 19th century geologist as
one of the most excellent and without exception the cleverest woman I ever met.
When she moved to Everton with her husband in 1845, she put a gambling past behind her, and over the next 6 years amassed a huge and important fossil collection from the nearby cliffs and the Isle of Wight. She was a skilled preparer of fossils. The best of her collection is now in the Natural History Museum in London and includes an extinct crocodile named after her. The coastline of Barton is constantly being eroded by the sea and the wind and rain. In the early 1900s, the grassy promenade at the top of the cliffs was 100 meters wide. Today, it is less than 20 meters in some places. Welcome to the New Forest Tour Blue Route. The next main stop is Shorefield Country Park. Until then, sit back and enjoy the beautiful sea views. You are looking out over Barton Common. The Common is a precious wildlife-rich heathland, grassland and woodland. Birds such as linnets and whitethroats nest here. See if you can spot sand martins flying over from their nests in the sea cliffs. Other wildlife includes orchids, butterflies and reptiles. Until around 70 years ago, grazing animals owned by the commoners of the Common were free to roam around the area, even as far as New Milton. But they were raised again to help it become even better for the wildlife.
As the vessel approached the needle
coastline here is dotted with bunnies. No, not the rabbit kind. These are narrow wooded gorges running from the cliff top to the beach. The bunnies gave smugglers a secret way to get their booty inland. Goods such as brandy, fine cloth, tobacco and tea often found their way into the forest. Once in the forest, there was no hope of the customs officers finding the smuggled goods. In the end, armed customs officers were based in special houses at Barton-on-Sea and New Milton to try and put a stop to it.
The largest seizure of smuggled goods for many years was made between Livingston and Christchurch in 1778. There were 3 cargoes loaded onto 12 wagons. One of the smugglers fired a blunderbuss at the soldiers first, wounding one in the arm. The soldiers immediately returned the fire and killed the smuggler, Barbara Barnes, who was shot through the heart and head at the same moment. The 12 wagons, loaded with lace, tea and spirits, together with the horses, belonged to Milton.
Ahead of us is Hurst Spit, a long shingle bank that marks the edge of the bay and the start of the Solent. On its tip stands the mighty Hurst Castle, originally built by Henry VIII to defend the Needles Channel from invasion. It was strengthened in the Napoleonic Wars and again in Victorian times, and remained in use until the Second World War. We'll soon be arriving in Milford-on-Sea, where you'll find pebble beaches, a choice of cafes, and great views across to the Needles. It's also the starting point for a walk out along the shingle spit to Hurst Castle. But please be aware that it is rough underfoot and can be very windy. The large building to our right is known locally as the White House. It was completed in 1903 as a summer getaway for Naval Lieutenant Edward Munro and his new wife, Mabel Walker. Their main residence was in the forest, at what is now the Rhinefield Hotel. Mabel's father's engagement gift was the sum of £250,000, which built the impressive Rhinefield house. There was enough left over. The coast is made up of shingle and soft mud. This makes it a big challenge to cope with increasing sea levels and more frequent extreme weather. After big To find more about walks, and indeed days out within the national park, a good place to start is the village news shop and local information point, situated at the foot of the village green.